This is the Roland R26, which is one of the better entry-level handheld recorders. It can record up to 6 channels of audio. There are 2 pairs of stereo mics, a pair of spaced omnis and an XY pair mounted onto the front of the machine, and we also have 2 XLR inputs on the bottom. For most of the time you'll be using it in the field, battery powered, 4 AA batteries, simple enough. It does have a DC socket and can be powered from the mains. This flap here is where your memory card is, standard SD card, push in, push against a spring to release, and simply press in and close the cover. Powering, we have a sliding switch here that you have to hold before it will power up, and then we get into the menu. So the first thing that we will need to do is format the card. So if we hit menu and go to SD card, format, yes, and it is now formatting the card. It does take a little bit of time. Once formatting is complete, it will revert to the menu, and if we go back in the menu by pressing the menu button, we will start to set the machine up for the way we want to use it. For most purposes, we may just be using one microphone going into the bottom. For other jobs, we may just be using one pair of these stereo microphones on the front. All depends on the nature of the job. For monitoring purposes, our headphones will connect to this mini jack socket on the side, and we can adjust the volume with the dial on the side there. As the batteries start to fail, the first thing that will happen is that the headphone amplifier will stop working. This will enable you to continue recording, but you will lose all monitoring. One of the first things we need to do is go into record setup and set our sample rate. For most broadcast work we would use 48 kHz. If we are going to record samples that we are going to slow down and speed up, or in some way manipulate, we may want to use a higher sampling rate such as 96.0 kHz. For most of our work though, 48 is quite adequate. So press that, and then we go to the record format, and we have 16-bit and 24-bit. 24-bit will give us much better resolution, so we'll go with 24-bit. To record some simple reportage, all I need is a handheld dynamic microphone, an XLR cable, and connect that into the input 1 at the bottom of the Roland. And if I go into menu, record setup, I'm recording on one channel only. It's analog input. It is 48 kHz sample rate and 24-bit WAV record format. If I go to input setup, we are using analog input on the bottom, and we don't need phantom power, we don't need any filtering. So if we go back and ultimately press the menu to get to our home screen, and if I scratch the microphone, I'm currently not seeing anything. If I press record, it should go into record pause. The record light is flashing and the counter is still holding at 0. Now, there we go. If I scratch that, we are getting something. For spoken word, I'm looking at trying to achieve a level of neg 12, which is that mark there. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That is currently looking very quiet. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So if I press the sensitivity button in the middle of the machine, 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then press auto sense, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Try that again. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. press enter. It recommends adjusting the input level to 58. So I'm going to press OK. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has done that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you now look at the meter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are slightly shy of 12. I think I can go a little bit higher with that. If I press the sensitivity button, I can, using these arrow keys, go up and down and adjust this manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's too high. Down a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just peaking at -12, which is what we want. And that is perfect for doing some reportage. For most sound effects work, we won't be using a handheld dynamic microphone. We will be using a shotgun microphone, such as this. Okay, now these shotgun microphones need phantom power, so you will notice that as I speak into this microphone, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, there is nothing happening on the meters. So I need to go back into the menu. Let's just press stop for a moment. Back into the menu, input setup, analog in, and phantom power needs to be switched on. Now if I hit record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is a much more sensitive microphone and I am hitting the end stops here and this peak light is flashing at me to say I'm overloading the circuits. So what I need to do is press the sensitivity button again and auto sense 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hit enter and OK. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say that that's still fairly loud, so I'm going to hit the sense fader and turn it down with these arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that looks a bit better to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe down one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks much better. Okay, let me just press stop. To record, you hit the record button once and the unit will go into record pause. Notice the pause indicator is flashing here. The counter isn't moving, but the record light is flashing. So we need to press a second time to go into record mode, and there you go. We are now actually recording. Okay, but what we do need to do is monitor our recording. So jack some headphones into the side and adjust the volume accordingly. And there we go. Next, what if I want to record some stereo Atmos? There is a slight problem with using two-channel mode. Two-channel mode uses the internal microphones, and what it actually does, it uses all four. It uses the two spaced omnis and the XY pair in the middle. That to me is not ideal. So I would advise going into four-channel mode. Sorry, let's change that. Four-channel mode. Four-channel mode gives us an XY pair and an omni pair. So the XY will appear on channels 1 and 2, and the omni pair will appear on channels 3 and 4. Spaced omnis ideally would be spaced much further apart than that. They would be at least this far apart to get to record decent stereo. So I would tend to use the XY pair. However, when you record in four-channel mode, you now have four channels and you can choose whether you want to use the XY pair or whether you want to use the pair of omnis. Okay, so if I come out of the menu and hit record. You can now see that we have 4 tracks being recorded. That's the XY pair, that's the Omni pair. And as before, we need to adjust the sensitivity, and if we press the sensitivity button and the auto button and 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, press enter and OK, and the machine has decided that that is the level that it's going to record our stereo Atmos at. And when I get into the edit suite, I can choose either the XY or the Omni pair. Not forgetting, if we're outdoors recording Atmos, we do need some wind protection. And as a general rule, recording audio levels, we only need to adjust this left hand fader 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So the auto sensitivity button gives a ballpark setting for whatever microphones you're using, but to fine tune it you need to adjust the level control here to suit whatever it is that you are recording.